Hello, my name is Bill, and today I want to show you a simple recipe for it's a pasta sauce with vodka. And I know that the restaurants all make it. You see it in the store. I don't recommend buying the stuff in the store in the jars because it just isn't right. But it's really simple. There are only a few ingredients. So basically, let's get started. I've got a pretty good sized pot here because I want the surface area. Because of that, I need quite a bit of olive oil. So there's there's 4 tablespoons of olive oil in the bottom of this pan, and it's extra virgin olive oil I always use. I just want to get it hot enough that I want to just fragrance some garlic that I minced up. And there's like 4 cloves of garlic. There's not a whole lot of different flavors that go into this. So this is a perfect opportunity to use some garlic. Already got a little sizzle going on. Don't want to burn the garlic. It starts turning brown. It's not going to be so good. I'm just going to stir this around. Doesn't take long. The second it hits the oil, I can smell it. Okay, that's enough of that. So just want to get it before it turns brown. So I've got 2 28-ounce cans of crushed tomatoes. Now, as soon as I pour this in, obviously it's going to drop the temperature in here. So I don't want to turn it down. I just want to get that in there. Slow process. I really love these organic fire roasted tomatoes. I don't know, the flavor is great. And sometimes I'm pretty skeptical about organic, but these are really good. Whether truly organic or not, they're very well made. Alright, so now what I want to do, stir this around. My garlic all going in there. I want to get this hot. Just get it hot. So we had a really hot pan, we had just room temperature tomatoes, so this really shouldn't be a real big deal. Got my stove just a little higher than medium. And I know it's heating fast. I'm just going to stop. Everything's blended up. And I'm just going to let this finish heating through. While it's doing that, I'll grab my cutting board here. I've got some fresh basil I went out and picked this morning before it started raining. And there are all sorts of different terms, chiffonade, whatever, just way to cut any kind of herb. But this, and I'm using a pretty healthy amount, because like I said, this very basic flavors in this sauce. I think basil is just excellent, especially when it's, just even plucking this outside, I could just smell all the flavors. So I think I have about pretty close to 20 leaves here. So we kind of roll it up. I'm just going to take my knife, and I just want to make some little thin cuts. Perfect timing. I hear my sauce in the background starting to bubble. Don't want to take my eyes off it when I'm working with wielding the knife. Okay. Ah, the smell. Absolutely. I see bubbles. I want to let this get pretty toasty. So I'm going to put the fresh basil in. I just want to wilt it. So now I got these shreds of basil. Oh goodness, that smells good. So you know, fresh ingredients really add to it. I'm not sure I'd be able to make this with like freeze-dried basil. It would be, I think, just a little pungent, a little rough. But this fresh just is great. It's like people always ask me about the jarred garlic. I find it so easy to mince garlic that I really don't use it. It's a pretty darn good substitute. I will give it that. Like I said, so this is all starting to wilt in here. It's really good. So I want to get it hot. I want to see these bubbles come back. It's not quite finished wilting. So while it's coming back up to temperature, I'm going to talk a little bit about vodka, because this is a vodka sauce. So it's really handy when you can go to a large liquor store, you know, wine store that sells liquor, whatever, in your state or area. You want to make sure that you're using something that actually tastes good. You don't want to taste like alcohol. I went to Total Wine the other day. I really don't know a lot about vodka, and talked to them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we have stuff." Basically, it's a distillery that only sells to Total Wine, or it's labeled just for them. It doesn't say Total Wine on it, but it's very exclusive, and so it's a lot cheaper, and on sale it's really cheap, and it is a decent vodka. In fact, they say, "Oh, your friends can drink martinis." I'm like, for shame. I only use gin for martinis, but that's another story. All right, so I got this back up boiling. Now, I will tell you, so we've got a pretty good amount of sauce here. I've toyed with the ratios 100 times. I read a recipe the other day that I really was scratching my head. They want like a cup and a half of vodka in here. I'm like, you want enough to create some flavor, but you want to be able to cook the alcohol out. So for this big, huge pot, I'm using 3/4 of a cup of vodka. Stir this around. And this was at a pretty good rolling boil. Not a roll, well, bubbly, I should say, not a rolling boil, I'm sorry. So this is going to take about 10 minutes to really cook down. I want to get that alcohol out of there. And so we're going to let it sit for 10 minutes. And we will be joining you back in 10 minutes. So I want to get my sauce, it cooked down for 10 minutes. I want to get it off the high heat over here because I want to finish it up. So I just want to put it on low just to keep it going. Over here I got this nice hot burner. I'm going to put a pan on it. What I like to do is I'm going to put a little seafood. So I've got some shrimp and some lobster tail. Just going to throw it in here. There's nothing like a little cut up lobster tail, a little shrimp to make this taste really great. And certainly I just want to let you know that if you were in the Melbourne, Florida area, the produce place is a great place to get your fruits and vegetables. They also allow artisans to come in and sell things. I get these ciabatta rolls that are really excellent, fresh baked. We get bagels there, and of course they have a cooler full of all the herbs you could ever imagine if you don't grow your own. So I got this seafood, shellfish, getting nice and hot here. I'll flip it around. So the reason I do this is I'm going to add this, I'm not going to put this in the sauce, I'm going to add it to the pasta. I always keep pasta in my freezer. All you do is cook it, put a little butter or olive oil on it, in the Tupperware it goes, and it's good for a long time, just because you've added. And I was watching on TV the other day, a big famous chef was talking about how he heats his up by throwing it back in boiling water. I'll be honest, I thought, put it in my serving dish and put it in the microwave. I just heated up some pasta while I was waiting for this. Alright, so this is going to be done in just a second. So while that's working, I'm going to come back to my sauce here, which is still really nice and hot. And how do we make it that nice creamy vodka sauce? It's really simple. I have half a cup of half and half. You can use heavy cream. There's not a whole lot of difference between heavy cream and half, and I always have half and half, and it seems to be in a lot of recipes. So half a cup, just dance it around the pot, stir it in. Turn this down. This is looking good. This is all stirred in. I turn this off. It's beautiful. A lot of places would take their immersion blender and whip this all up. I like the rusticness of a little bit of texture to this. That's all good. Last thing I'm gonna do is I throw some little black pepper on my seafood. Alright, so let's put this together. I have pasta that let's heat it up, still nice and warm. This is how I plate it. Look pretty. Oh yeah. I'm a big fan of lobster, so I really enjoy it. We didn't overcook it. Just got it to a nice doneness. And now it's toasted. Just gonna give me a ladle full of garlic and basil. Dance this all around. And to me that looks perfect. Of course, I have to sprinkle some nice fresh real Parmesan Reggiano cheese on top. I don't reach in with my fingers because a couple days later you might find some green stuff, just bacteria off your fingers. And I hope you can see how lovely this looks in the light. I've got a beautiful meal right here. Really easy. I mean, literally it cooked for 10 minutes. I threw everything in a pot. You don't have to put the seafood in. That's just my little thing. I love it. But it's really simple. Like I said, I like kind of this rustic recipe I found. Most of them, like I said, they usually use an immersion blender and kind of make almost like a cream of tomato soup, like canned tomato soup out of it. I want to taste, I want to eat the basil, and there's still little teeny chunks of garlic. I'm drooling over this. So please, enjoy this recipe, subscribe, comment. Don't forget, get some nice rolls. You're going to heat up in the oven for 10 minutes to make sure you got some nice bread to sop up all this stuff with. And I would kind of go out on a limb here, and I think I'd say I would drink this with a really nice Italian white wine, Pinot Grigio or Pinot Gris wine of your choice, because I really want to taste all these wonderful flavors. So enjoy, and please try this recipe.